Hello and welcome back to the Geordie Pig Investor channel. Today I'm going to be going through my April 2024 dividend update video, taking you through every single dividend payment I received in April, how much I received and what the total amount came to, and how all my stocks were performing in April. Let's have a little quick look at how the portfolio actually performed. The portfolio has grew from £11,500 being invested at the start of April to now having over £15,000 invested in the portfolio. That means that I've put into the portfolio just over £3,600, and we can see the return on the portfolio has dipped by just over 2% over the last month. So it's gone from being up 7.4% down to 5.2%, hence how I've been able to add so much money to the portfolio, because I've been able to find some great opportunities and buy into the portfolio with them. Coming up first, my first payment in April was from Vici Properties, stock ticker VICI. This position is my largest one share holding in my entire portfolio. The only positions I have that are bigger than Vici is a couple of my ETFs. I currently own 62 shares worth of Vici Properties, costing me an average price of £22.74, meaning my current holding value is now just under £1,400. We can see the returns is basically level. I'm currently down £3.23, which is a very, very small negative 0.23%, but I have received over £11 in dividends now, bringing the overall total to plus £8.60. Vici Properties pays out a dividend 4 times a year. They have a phenomenal yield at 5.83% and a great dividend 5-year growth rate at 7.25%. This month, out of that £11.83, I received a massive £10.01 worth of my dividends. And this brings my April total to £10.01 so far, which is a really nice initial payment to receive at the start of the month. My second stock that I received a dividend from in April was Slovana Platinum Limited, stock ticker SLP. I currently own 190 shares worth at an average cost of 52 pence per share. So my current holding is valued at £132.73. I'm up nearly 30% on the position. It's one of my best performing positions, which gives me a return of just over £30. I did receive £3.82 this month from them, which gives me an overall profit of £34.05. They pay out a dividend twice a year and have a dividend yield at 8.63% and have a massive 5-year dividend growth rate at 86.98%. The reason for this being that they had a very, very small dividend to start with, and I've jumped it up quite a lot. Contextually, I don't believe it's obviously going to stay at growing at such a rate, so don't just start buying into this company because you believe it's going to be paying an absolutely crazy 5-year dividend growth rate and be growing at astronomical rates every year. This will definitely likely slow down, but it does have that very nice high yield, hence why I personally bought into the stock, as I believed at the time it was at a very nice price, and as you can see, obviously the returns I've made, it was a good choice. This means that for April, my total dividends now received are £13.83. The next stock to pay me a dividend in April was GlaxoSmithKline PLC, stock ticker GSK. So I currently own 16.6 shares of this company, cost me an average of £16.31 per share, which brings my current total holding to £274.78. Basically flatlined, I'm slightly up just over 1% on the position, which puts me up £3.65. And I have received a total of £1.75 in dividends, which means overall I'm up just over £5. They pay out a dividend 4 times a year with a dividend yield at 3.87% and have a 1-year dividend growth rate of 14.8%. They did reduce their dividend a couple of years back, so that's why I've put a 1-year dividend growth rate in for them. So this is something to be aware of, as for the most part I like all my companies to have fairly good 5-year dividend growth rates and don't like to see these cuts. But I do believe cut it down because they were investing money elsewhere, and for the long term it's going to work out for GSK. This now means that my overall dividend payments I've received in April are £15.58. So starting to creep towards my all-time high, which was actually last month in March. The next stock that pays me, as it does every single month, is Realty Income. Over the last month, I've not added any stocks to my Realty Income position, as I've been heavily focusing on Vici Properties. but I do still own 13.3 shares worth, costing me an average of £41.42 per share. This means that my current holding is valued at £565.69, and I have a total return of £18.95 on the current position, which puts me up just over 3.4%. I've received in total over £8 in dividend payments, which brings the overall total to £26.99. As you should all know by now, the dividend frequency is every single month, which is one of the reasons why a lot of people like to buy into this company, alongside the very, very good dividend yield at over 5.7% and a fairly steady 5-year dividend growth rate at over 3.1%. This month, I received £2.33 from Realty Income, which brings my overall April total dividends to £17.91. The next stock to pay me in April was Diageo, ticker symbol DGE. I currently own 37.4 shares worth at an average cost of £28.48. My current holding size is just over £1,000 now. I am adding £30 every single week to Diageo because I'm buying a singular stock every single week, and I have been since the start of the year, doing it as a little bit of a challenge because I do believe it is at a very nice price, and I do believe that this position will turn into the green by the end of the year. I am currently down 2.53%, but I have received over £8 in dividends, which brings my overall total to being down £18.79, my first red position of April. They pay a dividend twice a year and have a fairly steady dividend yield at 3.23% and a steady 5-year dividend growth rate at 4.14%. Out of that £8.18 I've received, all of it was this month, as it was my first payment from Diageo. This £8.18 added to my overall April total brings me to £26.09. The next stock that paid me in April is another British one, and it is Rio Tinto Group PLC, stock ticker RIO. I currently own 4.54 shares of Rio Tinto at an average cost basis just under £50, bringing my overall value of the current stock to £247.43. I have a return of over £20 currently, which is up 9%, and I've received over £6.30 in dividends, bringing my overall total to being plus £27.17. Rio Tinto pay a dividend twice per year and have a really nice dividend yield at 6.26% and have a fantastic 5-year dividend growth rate at 7.38%. Out of that £6.39, again, same as Diageo, all of it was this month, as this is my first payment from Rio Tinto. So out of that, adding it onto my April total, we have now gone into all-time high monthly territory, as I have now received £32.48. My final payment for April was from Altria Group, stock ticker MO, and I currently own 6.11 shares of this company, costing me an average of £32.82 per share, bringing my overall value of the company to £210.04. I'm currently up on the position by 4.76%, being up £9.64, and I have received £3.20 in dividends since owning this stock. This means overall I'm up £12.84, and Altria Group like to pay a dividend 4 times a year with a massive dividend yield at over 9%. One of the main reasons a lot of people invest into Altria Group, and they do still have an okay 5-year dividend growth rate at 3.63%. Personally, this is one of the stocks that I may look to move out of, as I do also own British American Tobacco and have a very large position in that company. I believe these two stocks are very similar, and with British American Tobacco being the UK version of it basically, both being in the tobacco industry, and I don't really want to have too much of a weighting in this industry as it is looking like it's going to be on the decline, not in the near future, but over the next 15, 20, 25 years. So this may be a stock that I sell out of the position, especially while it's in the green. This month though, I did receive £2.49 out of that £3.20 I've received in dividends, bringing my overall April dividend total to just under £35. So let's have a look how this looks so far for the year. If we bring the graph up, we can see back in January, I made £6.51 in dividend payments. In February, I then made quite a bit more, an extra £10 worth, jumping to £16.11. Then made a further £10 in March, jumping it up to £26.85. And then I made another further £8 or £9, jumping it up to just shy of £35 for April, which is my best ever month. So I'm really happy with how the trajectory is looking on my dividend payments and how they are growing month to month. In May, it's looking like I won't have another all-time high month, but June I have a lot of dividend payers, so that is going to be a very exciting one, and I may be able to hit a massive milestone in June if I can continue to find good opportunities over the next couple months. So this is it for today's video, taking you through my entire dividend portfolio and the dividend payments I received in April. I'm really happy with how it's shaping up, and I'm excited to see how this is going to grow in the coming years, and you are going to be able to see how effective dividend payments are. But you can also see in all my positions, I'm actually only down in one of them, which was Diageo, from this month's dividend payers, and I'm really happy with the prices that I am getting in a lot of my stocks. So it's not just that I'm only buying into stocks for the sake of it to get a good dividend. I'm actually trying to get in at very competitive prices that I believe will have good capital appreciation long term as well. So like I said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what dividend payments you received in April and what's upcoming for you in May. I hope you've enjoyed. This is the Geordie Pig Investor, over and out.